Classic. TGIF edition of the show, number one spot for all things Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Homecoming tomorrow, Bama, Arkansas, 11 a.m. kickoff. Bryant, Denny, and Tuscaloosa. ESPN has the call there on the matchup. You're right here with us from the Magic City of Birmingham, streaming this to you via YouTube. In my own words, speaking of a channel, you go ahead right now and tap that subscribe button. Get yourself locked in. Get yourself involved right now on the network, bringing you all things Bama football. Share the show as well with everybody that you know, every friend, family member, diehard Bama fan, casual Bama fan, consumer of Tide football. If you're feeling the content, guess what? They will as well. Hit that like button. Give us that thumbs up right there. Smash the like button. Trying to get this 50 likes out the gate to start the show. That daily super chat goal, $100 daily. Super chat going, $100 right there. My man Waylon, the president, getting us started with that $19.99. Dropping that in the bucket. And behind him, Ty Alexander with that $9.99, putting that in as well. Thanks to you guys right there. We want to hear from you guys tonight. Getting your thoughts, your viewpoints in on the show. You can do that by calling 205-448-1358. The number to call in to let your voice be made known, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. Definitely want to hear from you. But Eli, we're going to jump into topic number one of the conversation here, and that being for Alabama football, we're starting the second half of the season here where You want to have that balance, and the run game, it's going to be so important now. As good as it was to see last week, Jalen Milroe prove, if I have to win a game with my arm, if I have to win a game throwing the football, I can do it, and that was great. But we all know Alabama thrives at its best when it's able to line up and straight run the football on you. And it's had moments this season where it's had success with that, whether it was against Ole Miss when Jase McClellan had 105 yards rushing on 17 carries, or against Mississippi State when Bama was able to have, I think, 195 yards total running the football. But from the Arkansas game throughout the remainder of the year, Bama's got to establish that run game more. It's got to establish that dominance, that continuity, if you will, in that run game. It's going to start with offensive line coach Eric Wolford having his guys in line, ending this musical chairs game on the offensive line. I mean, whether you have to go with T. Ferg and Jaden Roberts on the offensive line, I mean, do what you got to do. Whatever you got to do to get the most consistent, cohesive 5 guys on the field that are mashing guys, mauling guys, whipping guys up, and setting your running backs up for the utmost success. That's got to happen if you're Eric Wolford. And then for Tommy Rees is creating the game plan for your running game to have success out there in the field. Because when you're facing LSU coming up, Tennessee coming up, Kentucky coming up, Auburn coming up, and when you get to the SEC championship and you have to face Georgia, you got to be able to run the football. There has to be a balance there within your offense. So that run game got to be established. And for a senior like Jase McClellan, Jase is having a good year. 79 carries, 371 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's having a good year, but he would like to do more. I mean, Jase would like to do more. I mean, he does have the speed. He is explosive, got the patience, the power, cutback ability, contact balance, all of those things. But he would like to do more. And it starts off with the offensive line creating for him opportunities to do more. Then you look at guys, young names like Justice Haynes and Richard Young. I mean, we're in the second half of the season where it's kind of time to see these guys. What could Justice Haynes provide? We saw a piece of it against Mississippi State. Richard Young came as a 5-star as well. I know he posted a photo to his social media a couple of days ago of him going through practices for the Crimson Tide. So it's like, what can we see from these two? It's just kind of time to look at this run game unfold more. Because if this team is trying to win a conference championship and then on top of that, a national championship, it starts with having a full balance on your offense. Being able to run the football and pass the ball effectively as well. So this game against Arkansas, early kickoff, should give it an opportunity to establish that balance. Give it an opportunity to get back to running the football. Give it an opportunity to see, can it impose its will, lean on, wear down an Arkansas defensive front. And an Arkansas team that could be 4-2, maybe 5-1, but it's 2-4, and you really don't know psychologically where they are when you take so many close losses like that. So this could be a matchup where Alabama may be able to lean on that defensive front of Arkansas and wear it down some and be physical with it. That's all I want to see, is the Tide returning to having balance there, being able to run the football as well. I know Saban mentioned on Hey Coach Thursday about having the focus, having the attention to detail, not overlooking Arkansas. And a lot of people I spoke to were like, well, the reason why Saban made that speech is because the energy and the focus wasn't all the way there throughout this week in practice. Hopefully that's gotten better between Thursday and Friday of walkthrough, because we need everything hook, line, sinker on this Arkansas game, because the last thing you want to have happen is a team that's lost a bunch of close games to get their mojo back against you. And then that's the last thing you want to have happen there. So I'm pretty sure Saban has reared that focus back in between yesterday and today, going into tomorrow. But I think for me, the one thing we all want to see as consumers of this program is having that balance, getting that run game established for the latter part of the season, where you want to have everything fine-tuned at the right time there. But we're going to go to our first break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. We're just getting started. Upon our return, we go to the phone lines. We get your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. Hey, line us up on a free-for-all homecoming Friday right after this.
Nine players have teamed up and released the Alabama Team Paper, which is a video yearbook they've put out for sale direct to fans. Now, for the first time, small dollar purchases from the fans can support the players as a group as well as a great cause, because $1 of every subscription payment is donated to the Boys and Girls Club of America. Be a 5-star fan base and support your team and a great cause with Team Paper. Check it out at teampaper.com/Alabama.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
All right, folks, we're back to the action from the break here on the number one show on the streets for your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Got my man Eli Walker in the production studio. You guys continue hitting that subscribe button. Tap subscribe right now. Get involved on your network. Talking Bama football. Hit that like button as well. Smash the like button. Give us that thumbs up here on the channel. That daily super chat go $100 daily. Super chat go $100. How about my man Adam Lamplero with that $25 donation? Adam dropping the money in there. Let's go. And then we got Minister RC with that $9.99. Putting that in there. Appreciate the love from all of you. We go to the phone lines to grab your calls. The call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. Number to call in, 205-448-1358. You're live on the show. What's happening, how we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Steven, it's Adam calling from Georgia. How you doing?
Doing good, Adam. How are you feeling?
I'm doing great. I just had a couple of brief comments. My first comment is, I think Roydell and Jace are great and everything, but they're kind of north-south runners. I just want to see some Justice Haynes tomorrow. I think he's one of the best backs they have, and I'd love to see him break out tomorrow. And the second thing is this. I want to see more of James Smith, because he looks like an angry, tough rusher, and I think he's going to really be a star for the Tide. So what do you think about that?
I want to see more of Justice too, Adam. I mean, this is no offense at all to McClellan and Roydell. Great young men, great ambassadors for the program, been around the program a long time. They both came in that 2020 class, and they both have done good things. It's just that there's Justice Haynes is a different type of back. He is somebody that can make a hole where there is no hole. He can make his own openings, right, his own lane, so to speak. And you kind of want to see that, especially where we're getting to the games and the schedule that matter here for Alabama in terms of that competition. And then where James Smith is concerned, he is an absolute bully from Carver High School in Montgomery. We've seen bits and pieces of him so far this season, but definitely want to see him truly be unleashed in a sense of, I think he's the next big-time defensive lineman coming through this program, and it's time to kind of see, what he can really offer this team.
Absolutely, I agree. And, Stephen, the last thing I'll say is I'm going to be the first one to predict we go to the SEC championship and beat Georgia 35-21. Thanks, man. Great talking to you. Have a great night. Roll Tide.
Absolutely. Adam from Georgia. Put that on the board, Eli. He's got Bama, Georgia, SEC title game. His prediction, 35-21 Bama over the Bulldogs there in Atlanta. We grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name. Where you calling from?
Hey, Stephen. Stephen, this is Robert from Mobile.
Robert, what's happening, my man?
Hey, you were totally right about the running game needing to get in gear. And your previous caller was right about maybe we need to try, the Justice Haynes and see what he can do. Maybe with some significant carries, more so than just the mop-up duty that we tend to see him in. I know it's a tough call with Nick Saban. That's not how he runs things. He's always loyal to the most senior people. But it would be good to see get something in gear. We can't keep expecting to win games with under 50 yards rushing total, like we did against Texas A&M. That was, that was good, but we don't want that to be the exception, not the norm. Because right now Alabama's going to need to start scoring more points. We're going to need style points because of the rankings in the polls and the perception that the SEC is down. I looked at the top 10, and right now I'm seeing a lot of undefeated teams in the top 10 and none of them are in the SEC. That means if that trend doesn't change, we may have to get to the point where we're going to need some teams to start losing. Even if Alabama wins out, it beats Georgia. Because you have an undefeated Florida State, an undefeated Ohio State, an undefeated Oklahoma, an undefeated Oregon or USC, and they're all conference champions. Where does that leave room for a one-loss SEC team?
That's a good point.
Right now, right. That's a scenario that's possible. We could possibly end up the season with no SEC teams in the college football playoff for the first time since the college football playoff started. But that's on the table right now.
And Robert, good point made by you. It's now a point in the season where Alabama has to win, not just off style points, but have to win now off sheer dominance. And I go back to this is why penalties have hurt Alabama. If you go back to the A&M game, if not for the blindside block, which was controversial, but if not for the blindside block by Dallas Turner when Chris Braswell takes the blocked field goal back for a touchdown, Alabama beats A&M by 14+. And if you beat A&M by 14+ at Kyle Field, now we're talking to Alabama at number 8 in the poll instead of at number 11. So this is why style points is important going forward, but also cutting down the penalties is important going forward.
Right now, the spread is 20 points?
Yeah, it's 20.
They got to start covering these spreads, all of them. From here on out, they need to start thinking of covering spread, getting the offense efficient, of course, winning the game. But right now, we're in the market where we're going to have style points and like you said, show dominance to overcome the early loss to Texas. And that's the unfortunate thing about the way the structure is right now, which is why I'm glad we're going to be expanding this playoff, because you want to see an Alabama-Texas game. But if you're going to penalize Alabama for losing it or penalize Texas for losing it for the rest of the season, then that discourages teams from playing these type of games. It just makes you go out and you have a schedule like Georgia, where you just beat up on Patsies the entire season, and don't schedule any good out-of-conference teams. Fortunately, we have the college football playoff, the expanded playoffs coming, which fixes this. So right now, we're on the edge of Alabama and Georgia could well be the two best teams in college football now at this point. I mean, I wouldn't bet against anybody beating Alabama or Georgia on a neutral site at this point with Alabama playing right now. But if Alabama beats Georgia, the two best teams in college football may not even be in the playoffs because of the way college football is structured right now. I hate it took us this long to have the expanded playoff. And I'm glad we're going to get it next year. But this year, the SEC, there's a possibility we can be on the outside looking in. Folks, we want Notre Dame to beat USC this weekend. We need to start getting some losses in some of these undefeated teams, and it needs to start with USC. So, yeah, even though a lot of Alabama fans don't like Notre Dame, but you better be one this weekend. All right, man.
Appreciate Robert from Mobile calling in, and that's a huge point because when you look at this part of the season, the College Football Playoff Committee, their mindset becomes, okay, we're about to start turning on this tape and seeing at what point can we stop this tape and see that you completely wipe the floor with this team, with your opponent, from start to finish. So now we're at the part of the season where Alabama's got to play with dominance, got to play with style. The committee's going to want to watch the rest of these Bama games from here on out to see at what point did Bama just completely wipe the floor with this opponent. So these games down the pipeline, huge here for Alabama football. But we grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name. Where you calling from?
What's up, Steven? This is Chance from Georgia.
How we feeling that Chance?
Oh, man, I'm excited. I've been wanting to talk to you for a little bit, but you've been kind of doing it from home, it looked like.
Yeah, man, was doing it from the remote location, but hey, you got me right here in studio, Chance. I'm right here.
Yes, sir, I do. Yes, sir, I do. Well, I mean, how about that defense? They was humming against A&M. Now, you got to give it up for Freddie Roach. I mean, he got Tim Keenan, Justin Aboybe, Big Jaheim Otis. He got them boys rocking. Like, they could not be stopped. And Robert Bala, I mean, you got to show him some love, too. He's got them linebackers humming where, like, that defense is nasty. And like your last caller said, was talking about, like, how it's so spread out. Like, all them Pac-12 ranked teams are going to cancel each other out because that's just how it's going to fall. They're going to, like Oregon and Washington playing this weekend, same thing with USC and Notre Dame. And it's the same thing with the Big Ten. They're going to cancel each other out. So, see, now they're starting to get into their schedules where, like into their league play, and they'll start canceling each other out. So I have faith that, like they know that if they put Alabama up against any of those people, I bet if Alabama played Texas tomorrow, it wouldn't be the same team we saw in week 2. It wouldn't be the same team. I don't believe that for a second.
I don't see it either, Chance. I feel like early on in the season, it was an Alabama that was trying to locate some things, find some things. I think now, especially the defense has found itself. Jalen Milroe continues to grow. I think the last piece to come in, the last piece for this team is the offensive line. Leave the musical chairs alone and stop the pre-snap penalties. I think once the offensive line piece comes in, then this team is dangerous. The offensive line is the last piece that needs to come in.
That's right. I mean, I really don't know what to I'm really tired of talking about the offensive line. I'm tired of talking about them because, I mean, they built themselves up to be something that they couldn't live up to. And that's disappointing, but I still think that they can salvage it. I don't think that they're a lost cause or a finished product by any means. But yeah, I mean, we got a clear cut to the SEC championship with Georgia, and I think my only concern is LSU and of course Auburn, because we play at Jordan-Hare. There's always some crazy stuff that goes on at Jordan-Hare. But LSU, the only thing about them is that they can have a shootout with you. Like, they may not be able to stop you from scoring, but they can score on every drive if they want to. So that's my only concern on the rest of our schedule. But, yeah, it was just exciting to see our defense play so well. And, you know, big Justin Eboigbe, like, I've been a big advocate for him because he's just, like, waited his turn or he's had injuries and all that, and he just balled out. And it was just exciting to see that. So, yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow. And thanks for taking my call, buddy. I appreciate it.
Appreciate Chance calling in from Georgia there. This defense for Alabama is trending upward, really trending in a positive direction. Whenever, I've said this, whenever Freddie Roach has done, continue to do that. Robert Bala, in my opinion, probably the most underrated good hire of the Saban era. These inside linebackers are really playing well. Kevin Steele's doing his job as well as the D coordinator. But we take this call. You're live on the show. What's happening, how we feel, and state your name and where you calling from.
Hey, this is Albert from Anniston, Alabama. How you doing, Stephen?
Doing good, doing well. Cannot complain here. How are you?
I'm doing great. First-time caller, long-time listener. I got a few concerns I want to talk about. Again, y'all have alluded to it, the offensive line. And like you said, I wish we just come together. Once we put that together, we'll be unstoppable. Our defense have come up, and we're doing great. And I just want to applaud. I called him Good Hand Burden. Mr. Burden showed out last week. I want him to continue to show out as he's done. As well, I've heard some rumors about Kool-Aid McKenzie. I know I disagree with a lot of what they're saying about him. Kool-Aid is playing his heart out. Yes, he had some problems, a few missed tackles there, but he went for the ball. So Kool-Aid is doing his thing. So give him everybody applause and get off his back. And as well as, have you heard anything about Malachi? Anything going on with Malachi Moore?
With Malachi, Malachi practiced Wednesday, according to Coach Saban. He practiced for the first time this week, Wednesday. He had a twisted ankle against A&M. He had to be helped off the field. He didn't practice Monday. He didn't go Tuesday. His first practice was Wednesday. Thursday, the team has walkthrough. I don't know if he did much in the walkthrough. So right now, he's a game-time decision. Now knowing him the way I know him, he's a competitor. He's going to want to be out there. So if he tells Nick Saban, Coach, I can go, Saban's going to play him. But I will also say this, keep your eyes on Earl Little. Little is the backup to Malachi at that star position. So expect to see maybe more of Earl Little playing.
Okay. I want to just give a shout-out to my nephew, number 55, Raquez Montgomery.
That young man's going to be a star. He is going to be a star.
That's my nephew.
Yeah, he's good. I really like him.
Okay. You know, hope we keep his head on straight and everything go well for me. Roll Tide.
Appreciate my man calling in there out of Anniston. Really like Rock Montgomery. Raquez Montgomery, that guy's going to be a star. He's going to be a star. I like him. Now, I don't know if it's going to be – I don't know if it's going to be like the latter part of this year when you talk about Alabama and postseason games, but definitely next spring, next season, you're going to hear a lot about Rock Montgomery. But we're going to grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Stephen. This is Mike from Kentucky. What's up, my brother?
Doing good, Mike. Getting myself prepared for tomorrow's homecoming, Bama, Arkansas. But how are you?
Man, you know me. If I was any better, I'd be twins, brother.
I know that. I know that.
Hey, man, you know, it's nice as fans to look down the road at, you know, these teams doing that and this team doing this. But And at this point, I'm looking at this season one game at a time, brother. Our backs to the wall till we get to the SEC championship. And to tell you the truth, to me, the scariest part about Arkansas is their quarterback. That cat's been around, man. He ain't no Johnny come lately, and he's got NFL measurables, like 6'4", 230. And if you miss an assignment, he'll take you. He'll exploit you. I mean, we've got to contain him and, not let him turn a 3rd and 8 into a first down because he's got the wheels. He's a big dude, man.
He is.
He's a big dude, man, and he ain't no easy guy to get on the ground, man. If you rush 3, he might take off on 3rd and 8 or something. As long as we can contain him and keep him in the pocket, I think we'll be just fine. I mean, the defense is looking like the old Alabama defenses, man. I couldn't been any more happier the way the defense played against A&M in the second half. Man, they were pancaking offensive linemen. That's supposed to go the other way, And as far as the O-line, I mean, I remember a season. I think it was Najee's first year he started. Remember that year we didn't have a running back rush for 100 yards almost all the way into November?
Yes, I do.
Then when November come along and started clicking, I ain't giving up on them, man. Them boys are too big and too mean and too strong. I think they're, a good, strong run game in November. I'll be happy with that. I mean, I've seen it before, So I'm going to get off, Stephen. Y'all have a good day tomorrow, and everybody be safe. Roll dadgum tide.
Appreciate Mike from Kentucky calling in there. And going back to his point on KJ Jefferson, the last time Arkansas was in Tuscaloosa, they gave Bama a shootout. They did. That was 2021. We had Bryce Young and Jamison Williams had to hook up several times to put Arkansas away. That was a game where Arkansas had KJ Jefferson and the receiver Traylon Burke. Final score of that game was 42-35. That was a shootout. So KJ Jefferson, he's been around the SEC a long time. Now, of course, he's been taking more hits this season. Arkansas's offensive line, not what it wants to be. So this should be a game where Dallas Turner and Chris Braswell should have a field day, but we'll see. We got some super chats to get to, Eli, so here we go. I'm getting the inhaler ready. Get the horn going, Eli, because right off the top of the dome, right off the tightrope, we got Jimmy. You know what time it is. Jimmy Clay. Oh, my gosh. $114 in the Super Chats by himself. Jimmy from the other side of the parking lot. Whoa. Jimmy Clay. J.D. Long is in here with that $9.99 in the Super Chats. BT Trust has dropped in $10. Appreciate him. Eddie Rhodes from a 500-yard home run mile away has dropped $20 in here. That daily super chat goal of $100 has been met. My head's about to explode, and you can't tell. Whoa. Eli, are we making it snow or what, man? Like, whoa. Appreciate all of you guys making this your show right here. Talking all things Bama football. Man. Wow. Past the collection point around. We taking up a love offer to something? Is that what's going on right now? I sure feel that way. I definitely feel that way. But cool call topic right here, people. Bama in the NFL. Jerry Jeudy, former Alabama wide receiver, 2018 Fred Biletnikoff Award winner, former first-round pick, 2017 national champion. Jeudy could be heading to a new NFL team. It hasn't worked for him in Denver. It hasn't worked for him. And a lot of it not on him. The culture in Denver, not right. Russell Wilson, I don't know what's happened with Russ. It's just not right for Jeudy in Denver, right? It's not. And last night on Thursday Night Football, that you had the conversation with Mike Garafolo, Steve Smith of NFL Network, and Steve Smith said something about Jeudy. Jeudy was kind of barking at him, and Jeudy ended last night 3 catches for only 14 yards. It was mentioned before that Denver was interested in hearing trade offers for Jeudy, and then Sean Payton jumped in there and said, "No, we ain't trading him." And now those statements have come back up. You know, we're taking offers for Jeudy. So I don't know which team makes the move. I would like to see the New England Patriots get in here, but we know Belichick ain't gonna do that. So, I mean, I would like to see the Panthers get involved to give Bryce Young a big play receiver here, but we'll see what happens. But it looks like Jerry Jeudy officially could be on the move. Denver would like to unload him before the trade deadline. So that's what's happening as of right now. But we go to another break right here, folks, on the show. Touch that dial. When we get back, we discuss the games moving forward for Alabama. There's a sense of urgency now with it being the second half of the season. And we'll discuss that sense of urgency as Alabama tries to make a push here for a championship after this.
What's up, Bama Nation? This is Rudy Griffin, former Alabama defensive lineman, and you're listening to my guy, Stephen M. Smith, in my own words, brought to you by Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Roll Tide, roll!
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, folks, here we go. Back into the action from the break on a Friday. TGIF edition of the show. Number one ticket for your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Folks, we got the message board, Touchdown Alabama Magazine, touchdownalabama.com, the message board. The link to the message board can be found in the chat line and in the description. For those of you trying to help us regrow, rebuild that message board, be a part of that conversation. Touchdown Alabama Magazine, touchdownalabama.com there, the message board. But now, as we look at this, Eli, we're in the second half of the season. We're 6 games in, right? 6 games in. First half, Bama ends that. You're 5-1. You now have control of the SEC West after beating Texas A&M. So now the second half of the season. Here is the big meat of the schedule and where these games start to matter. We've had thoughts in the first call segment about, trying to win with dominance, win with style, win with elite level play to help put you in the conversation of getting into that college football playoff, being one of those top 4 seeds, trying to compete for a national championship. And for Coach Saban, he understands the urgency is now. He gets that. He gets the urgency is now. He gets the time to have your best ball, play your best ball, be at your most effective, play winning football. That starts now with this Arkansas game, not taking this team lightly, and then the remaining games here on your schedule when you talk the LSUs, the Auburns, the Tennessees, the Kentuckys, and of course Georgia, in terms of getting to the SEC championship. And when you talk about the games down the road, when you look at Tennessee, LSU, and Auburn, Kentucky as well, these are some marquee matchups here. These are some marquee matchups. Your next few games are going to be intense. You're going to have LSU and You're going to have Tennessee and Bryant-Denny, LSU and Bryant-Denny. You're going to go to Lexington, the Commonwealth, but take on Mark Stoops in Kentucky, and a Kentucky team that's very good this year. I mean, they're very good this year. So you got to deal with that. And then you take on Auburn and Jordan Hare. The last time you were at Auburn, 2021, Auburn took you down to the fourth quarter. You were losing 3, and Bryce Young has a huge 12-play, 97-yard drive with a minute and change to go to tie the game at 10 to force overtime. So these next few matchups here, pivotal for Alabama, especially Tennessee and LSU. Nick Saban is trying to avenge the 2 losses he took last year. He took a loss to Josh Heupel in Tennessee at Neyland Stadium last year, 49-52. Eli, you and Justin were at that game where the goalpost got taken down. I think a camera got launched into the river. Tennessee fans lost their mind because for the first time in 13 years or so, they finally beat Alabama under Nick Saban. Tennessee fans couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe it. They were smoking cigars like their life depended on it. Because for the first time in over a decade, you beat Coach Saban. But I think Kevin Steele better than Pete Golding in the sense of not allowing one receiver to catch 5 touchdown passes on you. I mean, good God. Bama allowed Jalen Hyatt last season to catch 5 touchdown passes from Hendon Hooker. I don't see that happening again. But you're trying to avenge that loss, and then you're trying to avenge a 1-point loss in overtime to LSU a season ago in Death Valley. You took a 32-31 loss in overtime. So, Saban knows, hey, these 2 blemishes from 2022, trying to avenge that. Because these were the 2 blemishes that put you out of contention for an SEC championship. These were the 2 blemishes that put you out of contention for the college football playoff. These were the 2 blemishes that sent you to the Sugar Bowl to play against Kansas State in New Orleans. So Saban hasn't forgotten that. Wants to rectify those 2 mistakes right there. That's what Coach Saban wants to do. Rectifying those 2 mistakes because he knows. This is the part of the schedule where the men grow. This is the part of the schedule where the cream rises to the top. This is the part of the schedule where the people that want to show the college football playoff committee, hey, we belong, they do it with this part of the schedule. They do it in this part of the schedule. So, starting tomorrow with Arkansas, we're about to see in the second half of this season, what does this Alabama team do to ensure itself, hey, we're getting into this college football playoff. We're putting our foot on everybody else's neck and not taking it off. We're going to go to another break right here, folks, on the show. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we continue with phone calls, your thoughts, your discussions. We get back to you, the Bama fan base, the Bama Nation, right after this.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care in support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today.
This is Chris Rogers, 2009 national champion. You are listening to the baddest, when I say the baddest, sports show in the state of Alabama. In my own words, you know, yours truly, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Don't touch that dial.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, folks, here we go. Back into the action. We are rocking and rolling from the break. Number one form for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Got my man Eli, the veteran Walker, in the production studio. Continue hitting that subscribe button. Give us that thumbs up, smashing the like button, making this your show. We talk all things Bama. We got Kevlar, the Wild Warrior, with that $19.99, dropping that in the bucket. Appreciate that from Kevlar, helping us out on the show. We go to the phone lines to grab your calls here. The call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. Number to call in to let your voice be made known, 205-448-1358. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hi, this is Stephanie from Silicaca.
How we feeling?
I am great. I am great. I want to shout out to all the women who listen to your show. It ain't just a men's show. We enjoy it. I love this show. Stephen, you're doing a great job.
Stephanie,
But,
I want to thank you. I definitely want to thank you. I know you've been listening for a long time. So I first and foremost want to thank you for allowing us to have your attention.
Amen. You got a great show. But I do want to give shout out to our kicker, Will. You know what? Will should be our Heisman. We definitely needed a kicker, and he is great. So I do want to give a shout out to our kicker, and I want to say to all our Alabama fans, do not take any team lightly. Every team, we need to have a blowout, because we're looking to go to championship. We're looking to win, and that's what I'm looking for. I don't want to take Arkansas lightly. I don't care what they rank is, whether they're ranked or not. I want to take every team seriously. And we do know, like everybody is saying, Auburn play us hard. So at the end of the year, we all know, I don't care if Auburn have lost every one of their games, they're going to play Bama hard. So I just want to, take one game at a time. Let's stay focused, team. Stay focused. Work the process. And you keep up the good work. I love your show. I continue to watch your show. I love it, and you do a great job.
Appreciate Stephanie calling in from Silicaca, helping us out here on the Friday show, and just getting back into Will Reichard. This will be his final homecoming. This is the final homecoming for Will Reichard. It almost makes you want to cry. It's like Bama finally got a great kicker, and one to where we don't have to worry about a field goal anymore, and you blink your eye and it's his final season. It's crazy. Like, man, like you blink your eye and it's Reichard's final year, but boy, he's been great for this program. He's been great for this program. I think Connor Talty's going to be great. I think the other guy, is it Upton Belafonte? Is it Upton Belafonte? I think that's his name, Upton Belafonte. I think Upton's going to be a good specialist for the program, but it's been great having Will Reichard. It's been a great 5 years having Reichard. 2020, he was perfect that season. Made 14 field goals, all 84 extra points. National championship that year. This year, he's 12 for 12 on field goals, 18 for 18 on extra points. Showing you that he can punt the football as well. Did that against Texas A&M some. Will Riker, good dude. Good dude. Another good call topic here, people. How about the freshman king of downs? Speaking of good dudes, this guy, is he the best true freshman in college football? He's playing like it right now. According to Pro Football Focus, they released a graphic today. Downs has a grade of 84.2, which is the highest grade for any true freshman in college football right now. Downs is playing outstanding ball. Leads the team with 47 tackles in the season, 2 interceptions, team high, 2-time SEC Freshman of the Week, made Sean Alexander Freshman of the Week so far this season. Downs is playing great. And looking forward to seeing what he does tomorrow, 11 a.m. against Arkansas. Should be good to watch right there. Taking our final break here on the show. We get back, we tidy up loose ends with this. Does Bama finally have, under Nick Saban, a pass rush duo that could possibly rival what Ryan Anderson and Tim Williams did? We'll wrap things up after this.
I'm Malachi Moore, and you're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith on Touchdown Alabama YouTube channel.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
What's going on? This is Benny Bice. I'm the founder and owner of Touchdown Alabama, and you guys are supporting one of the only independent outlets covering Alabama football today. No other sports, no networks, just Alabama football. Roll Tide Roll.
All right, folks, here we go. Appreciate all of you for helping us out today. For all the phone calls, donations, chatting, super chatting, YouTube chatting, making this your show, your network, your spot for all things Bama football. Appreciate all of you for what you do today on a daily basis. Shout out to Jason Haywood with that $5 donation. Put it in there. Oh, the hay is in the barn now. Jason Haywood, give us the love right there on the show. And behind him, oh man, we got some more hay in the barn, and this one comes from Dale B. A $10 donation from Dale B. Man, the money is rolling today. Boy, is it rolling. It's rolling hard, Dale B. Appreciate the love there coming from him. But in our final topic of conversation, Nick Saban, does he have a pass rush duo that finally rivals what he had in Tim Williams and Ryan Anderson? That's 2016. I think he's got one. Now, let me start off by saying this. Tim Williams and Ryan Anderson were just special dudes. They were just pure-bred assassins that didn't care who you were. Their job was to just rip the ever-living soul away from you. I had the pleasure of covering both of those guys, Williams and Anderson. They were fun to watch. And it was when the games got bigger, that's when their performances were even more marquee. Especially late in the season. When you played the LSUs, the Georgias, the Floridas, just the marquee teams. Tim Williams and Ryan Anderson would just kill you. Ryan Anderson was just angry all the time, and Tim Williams was just a menace. Like, I can remember the Peach Bowl against Washington 2016. I was at that game. I covered that game. And Timmy Williams was dancing in confetti by himself. That's how I knew Tim was a little different. Like the team was celebrating together, Eli, and then Tim Williams was off by himself dancing in confetti. And so I go talk for Tim Williams, right? Tim is like, yeah, man, we took them boys. We took their heart from them. Yeah, I'm like, whoa, like Tim Williams was just different. Like that boy was just different. Like that, I knew then, like, you don't want to meet up with Tim Williams in no dark alley. Like I knew that. Yeah. Like if you somewhere in the alley and you meet Tim Williams and Ryan Anderson, just do 3 prayers, find an angel, get out of there, man, because it ain't gonna be good for you. It's just not gonna be good for you. So, has Nick Saban found a pass rush duo that could possibly rival that? I think he has, in the form of Dallas Turner and Chris Braswell. I think he has. These two have come alive. Both of these two are 5-stars. Dallas Turner from South Florida in the 2021 class. Chris Braswell from the Maryland area in the 2020 class. These guys right now, Dallas Turner with 6.5 sacks, leads the team, leads the SEC, and is tied for 3rd in the nation for sacks. Chris Braswell, he's 2nd on the team, and he's 5th in the SEC in sacks with 4.5. These two together combine for 15.5 tackles for loss. I mean, these two are kind of giving you Tim Williams, Ryan Anderson vibes. They're kind of giving you that. Chris Braswell is sort of Tim Williams. Dallas Turner is more so Ryan Anderson. Dallas Turner kind of fits Ryan in the sense of Dallas is angry. He's angry. He would kind of fit Ryan, right? And Chris Braswell would kind of fit Tim. Kind of bigger than Tim, body-wise, because Timmy Williams was 230, 233, weight-wise. Chris Braswell was 255. So CB is bigger than Tim, but kind of fits the, I guess, speed mold of Tim. Dallas is angry like Ryan Anderson was, so you kind of get the gist. So I think they both have traits of what Williams and Anderson have, but under Coach Saban, both of these two, they bring that pass rush. Like I mentioned, Dallas leads the team in sacks, 1st in the SEC, 3rd in the nation. Chris Braswell, 2nd on the team, 5th there in the SEC. And both started to really turn up since the South Florida game. I mean, they've both turned up. They are both harassing the quarterback. They are both affecting the quarterback. And now, this Arkansas game here where the offensive tackles for the Razorbacks, not quite the elite guys in the SEC. Dallas Turner should at least have 3 to 4 sacks in this game by himself. Chris Braswell should have 2 to 3 himself as well. Like this Arkansas game, these two should feast here. Like these two should tee off on KJ Jefferson. They should. Will they? Remains to be seen, but they should. They absolutely should. I remember there was one year, Eli, I want to say it was 2016. Tim Williams and Ryan Anderson, they ended the year combined with 15 sacks. These two should end this season that way. They should. They should end this season combined with 15 sacks. At least, and probably over 15 for that matter. Because if Dallas has 6.5 right now, and Braswell has 6.5, has 4.5 right now, combined they have 11 sacks. So combined they have 11. So they're almost at 15 combined right now. They should end the year combined over 15. So they're right now on pace to do what Anderson and Williams did that 2016 year. They're on pace doing that. So there you go. I think Saban has found that pass rush duo that could rival Tim Williams and Ryan Anderson, and I think it is Braswell and Dallas Turner. The one thing I want to see Dallas do, Dallas, please don't get hit with another block, another blindside block if CB is trying to get a touchdown here. That's the only thing I don't want to see from Dallas. Don't get hit with another blindside block, especially if your boy is trying to take a touchdown to the crib. Chris Braswell should have 2 defensive touchdowns this year. He's got 1, but he should have 2. The other one was called back. But looking forward to seeing what these two do against the Hogs here over the weekend. As always, Bama fans, you want the best in news, notes, information, entertainment, alerts, fun stuff. You do this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you got the Android phone. For your audio needs, check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, Google Play, iHeartRadio. We got you covered. Good and gracious Lord sees fit. I'll try to be back on Monday, continuing the conversation that is Tide football. Gotta shout out you, the Bama fans, for all the calls. Donations, chatting, super chatting. Doing what you do to make this short show. We'll talk Bama. Gotta show love to J50 with that $1.99 the super chats. J50 helping us out. And how about Hattie Boyer? Hattie Boyer with that $16 donation. Helping us out there. Gotta show some love to my man Eli Walker in the production studio, holding it down right there. Gotta also show my love to my wife Mia and my daughter Mariah at home watching this show. Appreciate my wife and my daughter, my 2 heartbeats, the 2 women that are trying their best to keep me from going off the rails. I know that's a hard thing to do, but y'all do it well. Y'all do it exceptionally well. Till next time, folks, husbands love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing to not be bored through the weekend in session as well. Get yourself those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Enjoy the homecoming festivities and the game tomorrow. Bama! Razorbacks, 11 a.m. Central Time kickoff. ESPN has the call there. Until next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen Smith, and you've been listening to In My Own Words.